Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is kind of exciting for me because I'm trying out a new brand that I've never tried on my channel and that I have never tried, period. So you guys are going to see my first impressions of these particular products. And what I am talking about is the several products that have been really hyped up on YouTube lately, and they are from Profusion. I've got a few things here. I have the Wanderlust palette that I want to go ahead and dip into today. Also the chocolates palette that I will be kind of going over, and I do have the shimmers palette here as well. The bigger ones retail for $10 and the shimmers retail for $5. I also have a couple of lip products. This is a Profusion matte lip cream and the pencil to match. So I'm going to be going ahead and testing these on camera with you guys today. So if you want to see what my first thoughts are and what kind of makeup we're going to be doing, just keep on watching. So as you can see, I do have my foundation on. I'm doing a foundation review of Revolution Conceal and Define foundations, and also I have my brows and my cheeks done and a little bit of highlighter. And if you guys are interested in what I used on my face, because obviously we're only using Profusion products in this particular video, I will link everything down below for you. I'm gonna go ahead and put my hair back first. I had a lot of coffee this morning, y'all. Like, I've been up since 7:30 and I'm ready to go. What time is it right now? It's 11 o'clock. So I've been up and I've been drinking coffee like a freaking mad woman. And I took a shower, I did my hair first. Usually I have my hair up in a turby twist while it is drying and I'm doing my full face of like first impressions or foundation reviews or whatever, but today I just felt like doing my hair. So I am gonna go ahead and let's see here. This chocolates palette is totally just calling my name right now. This one, it looks like this. It's absolutely beautiful. It does remind me of the gold palette from Natasha Denona. I do not think that these are gonna be as high quality, and I don't expect them to for $10, but it did come with a brush. The brush looks like this. It's like a small tapered dome crease brush, and I think that will, I mean, it looks pretty good. So I think we're going to use that in the crease today. I think what I'm going to do is actually do some green, because the Wanderlust has green shimmers. This has a green transition tone right there. And then maybe use the shimmers here to go into my inner corner. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So first off, do have a little bit, it's still a little tacky. So what I'm going to actually do is go in with Polite here and Gentle and mix those two together and put them underneath the brow bone just so I have a little bit of color. Let's see if this brush is going to pick this colors up. Oh, not bad. All right. Okay. All right. So the mattes seem to be a little bit dusty, which is fine. I don't really care when it comes to having a dusty shadow. That just means that there is quite a bit of pigment. I do have my brows on too already, so I don't have to worry about putting those bad boys on. But yeah, I kind of like how this is. It's very subtle, which I appreciate because I don't want like just white stark underneath my brow bone, but I do want to put down just a little something. I think what I'm going to do is go into Likeable Hidden. Yeah, Likeable and Hidden, these two right here in the corner with the same brush. This is a Profusion brush it came with, and I'm going to go ahead and mix those together. I find that mixing them together, I don't know, I always do that. I always mix transition tones together because and if I need more pigment, then I'll just go back into a singular color, but that's just kind of what I do. I like to do that because I feel like I get to try more colors, and since we have so many to play with today, it makes me happy to, you know, try as many as possible. So again, I'm going back into Hidden and Likeable. I'm just putting that in the crease. And because I want this to be my main transition tone, I'm going to take this pretty high. And I do like this brush. This brush is super soft, and I usually hate brand new brushes. I'm going to be 100% honest. I am a person that loves broken in, worn brushes because I feel like they just work better. They don't shed. I love them. So I've got a lot of brushes I've had for years and years and years that are really well broken in. I have washed them several times over and they work really well. But this as a brand new brush is doing a fantastic job of blending out these shades, and funny enough, I feel like God, those matte tones are really, really buttery. For 10 bucks, dang. All right. Again, going into Hidden and Likeable. Looking good, no fallout. I'm happy. So far, so good. So I'm going into Adventurous, which is right here, and just a little bit of Groovy. So I'm going to Adventurous and Groovy, and I'm going to mix those two together and do a little bit lower in the crease just to give it some depth. Because quite honestly, oh dang, all right. Make sure you tap off your brush when you go into these mattes. Hey, Adventurous, Groovy, alrighty. Not bad, not bad. I'm getting a little crazy on this outer edge, but that's me, that's not the product, so. Okay, I'm gonna go in with Quest. It's right here, it's that bright green, and that's that transition tone we're gonna be taking. I think I might wanna use a more dense brush. I'm gonna use something that's a little bit smaller, and this one is the Morphe M433, and it's kind of a flat brush, because the other one's more domed. As you can tell, it's rounded. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one for a little bit more precision, and let's see how this does. Okay, it's a little dusty, but that's all right. And I'm just taking a small amount because I'm going to be putting that in the crease. And it's okay if it gets on the lid, don't worry about it. We're going to be putting shimmer on anyway. Wow, these have a ton of pigment. Holy crap. And they blend really, really nice. I mean, you have to work at it just a little bit. It's not bulletproof, but that's okay. For 10 bucks, I don't expect it to be absolutely bulletproof and blend itself, but man, that's awesome. I don't think I'm gonna do liner today. I'm gonna just do lashes because I really wanna see how it's gonna look, and I don't wanna mess it up with my completely awful liner skills. I'm gonna go in with a fluffier brush that doesn't have anything on it, and this one is E30 from Morphe. And I'm just gonna blend up through here because I don't want any harsh lines. There we go. And that honestly has zero pigment on it. But what I might do actually is go in with Adventurous by itself and just put just a little bit down just to blend that out. Perfect. Much better, much more smoky. Okay, so now I'm going to put the Chocolates palette aside and we're gonna dip into Wonderlust. So Wonderlust has some amazing green shades right here that are kind of calling my name, and I think that they'd be beautiful. So what I'm gonna do, and I would have used this one for transition, but these guys are a lot darker in person than they are on camera, and I think the Chocolates have a better transition shades, like they have better matte transitions in that particular palette, but they complement each other really nicely. So I'm gonna go in with Hypnotic and a little bit of Jade on a flat shader brush, these two right here, because this one's a little too bright and that one's not bright enough. So I'm gonna put both of those on my lid. And people have been saying to put down a glitter glue. I don't particularly like glitter glues. That's just me personally. What I might do is go in with a little bit of concealer just to make it a little tacky so it has something to stick to. I think that's what I'm gonna do. This is just a no-name flat shader brush, and I'm gonna go in with some ColourPop concealer, and I'm just gonna put that on the lid. It's not a cut crease, it's just giving it something tacky to stick to. And then I'm gonna take the other side of the same brush and I'm going into Hypnotic and Jade. Let's see how this goes. Colors are a lot brighter than I expected. I didn't think Jade was gonna be as bright as it is. Fallout City, for sure. I probably should have done this before my foundation, but we're gonna play with it and see what we can do to get that off. Not bad. All right, so I just used a dual fiber brush to sweep that away. Not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna go back in and do the other eye. I'm liking the color, but it is a little bit brighter than I was expecting. I'm gonna go back in with my brush that really doesn't have anything on it. That's the E30, and just blend this out. It's big and soft brush. and just blend out that line. Still a little too bright for me, I think. So what I might do is go in to the shimmers, since we have it here, and go into Atlantis right here. It's a little bit more of a darker blue tone, and just layer that over some of the green to tone that down just a little bit. Oh, that's better. It's a little bit better. But again, crazy fallout. These layer nicely, but I would highly suggest doing your eyes first, then your foundation. Not bad. I mean, the color payoff is ridiculous, so I'll give you that. The color payoff is really, really good. It blends really nicely, but there is a crazy amount of fallout. So I'm not going to put on liner like we talked about before, but what I'm going to do is put on lashes and mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. I put on lashes. I put some brown liner on the bottom waterline, and I tightlined the upper line here on my lashes. I just made sure that everything was all set, and I put mascara on the lower lash line, not realizing that I'm gonna need to still do my lower lashes. So just disregard that. So what I'm going to do is go in with a pencil brush. This is a MAC 210, and I'm going to go in with the Wanderlust palette, and I'm going in with Statement. This is that medium tone right here, and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line, and yeah, see how this goes. I like usually a more fluffy pencil brush, but this is what I have clean today. And I'm not going all the way in, but I'm going pretty deep underneath the lash line because I want this to be nice and smoky. These green tones are just so good. All right, so there is that. I'm actually gonna go in with Nostalgic. It's right here, it's that darker tone, just on that outer corner. And I think I'm gonna use a fluffier brush because this is killing me right now. This is the Rose Collection Under Eye Brush from Wet n Wild. I'm just gonna put that right. There we go. That's better. Oh, this brush is so much better. Kind of connect that on the outer edge too. I'm going to go in to the Shimmers palette. These two right here, which is Celebrate and Illusion, right there. And I'm gonna be putting that on the inner corner and right underneath the brow bone. I'm using just an e.l.f. little brush I got in one of their palettes, and I'm going into Illusion and Celebrate. Very lightly on the brow bone here. I don't want too much. I don't want it to be overly sparkly. Just a little bit underneath the brow bone. So now we're gonna go in, since we're done with these palettes, we're gonna go in with the lips. And what color are these? This is Matte Dream, and I think this is just a correlating liner. So let's see here. Oh, it kind of matches my it kind of matches my shirt, so that's good. And if you've been here a while, you know the drill. I always overline this side because my filler is not as heavy as it is on this side, which eventually I will get corrected, but you know, you make do with what you got. And these have kind of a cupcake smell to them, but it's not overly fragrant. I think that might be the first time in my life that I've smelled a liner that has that. I mean, liquid lipstick, yes, but not a liner. This doesn't really have a smell, but it's like a little bit, but not a lot. It doesn't feel bad. The liner is a little bit kind of cakey. I don't know if that makes sense. It's a little bit more crumbly than I normally like. I usually like a really nice creamy liner, but it's good. The liquid lipstick is a little bit tacky still, but it's drying down quite nicely. I do feel like it is going to crumble on the inner rim of my mouth. I can pretty much already tell you. Most liquid lipsticks do, but I feel like this one's gonna do it sooner rather than later. So what I like to do, or what I want to do, is because I don't want it to be just sparkly eyes and then a matte lip, I'm just gonna add a little bit of a hydrating lip shine. This is from Neutrogena, and this one is in Radiant Rose. It's pink, so I think it'll be fitting. But again, this is kind of tacky, but it doesn't feel too drying. So that's actually probably a good thing. This brush is ridiculous. Okay. Oh, that's good. Okay, so this is good just because it is kind of sheer and it's not gonna take away from the color of the liquid lipstick. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix this hair up real quick, and then we're gonna talk about final thoughts on some of this Profusion stuff. Okay, so now that we've kind of settled with the hair, I actually really like these palettes. I think that these are amazing price for what you're getting. The pigmentation on these is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I didn't think that I was gonna get this much intensity from a $10 palette. I really didn't have high expectations, but I really did like the way that the chocolate performed with the transition matte shades. And because I didn't use any of the shimmers in this palette, I really can't speak to that, but I have a feeling that they're very similar to the ones in the Wonderlust. The ones in the Wonderlust here, I feel like are more kind of metallic, and you probably could foil them if you not only used concealer like we did today, but used a wet brush to get them a little bit more foiled. But I am digging the color payoff that you get from these. They do tend to get a little bit of a kick up and fallout, so I would, again, not putting on your foundation, doing your eyes first. The brushes that came in these were fantastic. They worked really well. And then with the shimmers, I feel like they layered really nicely with the palette, the shimmer palette, because I did use that blue going over the green, and it did kind of calm down some of the brightness. So overall, because this was $5 and these bigger ones were $10, I do feel like they're way worth the price because you are getting a crazy amount of pigmentation for what you're buying. As for the lips, not exactly my favorite. I feel like the lip color itself is beautiful. I do actually really like the color. I like how it kind of turned out with, or in correlation with, my eyes. But I feel like the formula is a little tacky for the matte liquid lipstick. It didn't dry down as much as I had hoped, so that's why I wanted to put on a gloss, because it was starting to crumble and get in my lip lines as well already. As for the liner, I feel like it could be, it's a little chalky, it could be just a little bit more smooth, but overall, color-wise, I think it's beautiful. I love the concept of having a kit, like the Kylie lip kits, things like that. I think that that's kind of what they're going for, and they nailed it. So color-wise is great. I just feel like the formula might not be my favorite, but I mean, it's not anything you can't work with. Yeah, I mean, overall, Profusion is definitely worth the money. It's definitely worth your time, your interest, and just finding a way that makes it work for you. But if I was to do another tutorial with this, me personally, I would do my eyes first, then my foundation, because there is a lot of fallout that did end up coming underneath my eyes, which we ended up cleaning up anyway, but still, just for my peace of mind, next time I'm definitely going to be using or doing my eyes first. Other than that, I love the color range. I think the color story in these palettes is great. This one has a lot of colorful purples, which again, I would love to get my brush into and do a look with purples. The shimmer palette is great. I think in conjunction with one of these bigger palettes, it works really well. The chocolates is definitely my favorite, obviously being more neutral. And the fact that it is a similar color story and could be similar tones as the Natasha Denona gold palette, I think it's really beautiful. And if you're looking for an affordable dupe or an affordable color story that looks very much like that one, this is definitely what I would be reaching for. I love it. I'm gonna be rocking Profusion a lot more, and I think for an affordable brand and an affordable palette, the kind of payoff you're getting is pretty freaking awesome. I hope you guys liked this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you enter the giveaway that I have in the description box down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you want to see anything else with these palettes or anything else, please leave it in the comments. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.